Our local police department will not ever cooperate with ICE.
Put Frohawk Daddy in jail. Put his ass in jail. Prison, slammer yard, turn the lights off. We need to go make an example out of his butt.
Trying to run a scam on us. Our enemy is not Central America, it's not South America, it's not the continent of Africa. Our enemy is white supremacy, and we have to unite in defeating that monster.
Y'all got to hear this. Oh boy.
Get you to like commit to any specific policies, but do you have an example of like what a progressive revenue stream would be? Thanks.
Yeah, you know, I do. So one of the things that we have been looking at is it's been the pilot program, the payment in lieu of taxes. You know, those are some considerations that I believe that as a city we should look at. You know, something that I do think is important to note, though, that you know we have more than 127,000 millionaires that are within the borders of Chicago. So it's clear that between the thousands of millionaires as well as at least 25 billionaires, that there's a reason for us to be able to tap into those individuals and entities with means, so that we can continue to see the positive trend of violence going down in the city of Chicago. I believe it's to all of our benefit to ensure that we're doing everything in our power to maintain the investments that we've put forward.
Yeah, buddy. This is what you get right here. Yep. You just can't make that up. You just can't.
Want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
Hey. Why this beat so cold?
We will make America proud again. When you try to kill our we will make America wealthy again. And yes, together, we will make America great again.
Of course, we're watching in real time as New York is about to go down the tubes with Zohran Mamdani as the leading mayoral candidate. I was there earlier this month. It's not the same city it used to be. That's an understatement. And tonight, I'm here in Chicago, a place I've been visiting for years and years. I love this city, but I'm sad to say the same thing is happening here. These cities are crumbling under liberal leadership. Chicago has a huge problem with illegal immigration, but Mayor Brandon Johnson refuses to do anything about it. In fact, he's refusing to let police cooperate with ICE.
Would you consider setting up CPD perimeters around public spaces in Chicago?
Many working people and poor people need government to show up for them. The Trump administration has caused so much consternation and division. Look, we are a welcoming city ordinance. Our local police department will not ever cooperate with ICE.
Put them let's just go put them. Let's just go put handcuffs on them. That's all we got to do. That's all we got to do. Then he come out time again threatening President Trump and this administration, Tom Homan. We just gonna break the law. Put his in handcuffs with his hands behind his back. I'm sick of him walking around smiling with his 6.6 approval rating, rubbing all that curl gel through his frohawk mohawk. Big dirty scum running everybody out of Chicago. I'm telling y'all, this is why the Chicago Flip Red movement is growing down there. People are sick of this scum here. People are.
It's a shock that it has a 26% approval rating, but the good news, it's up from 6% in February. Here to react, former Illinois Governor Rod Blagojevich. Gov, good to see you.
He really has that approval rating, really.
Tonight, what is the biggest problem that Chicago is facing right now, if you say?
Mayor Johnson and that type of leadership. I mean, he makes Lori Lightfoot, who was a failed mayor, look less bad. Welcome to Chicago, by the way.
great
I
to
hope
be
you
here.
brought security with you because it's a city where crime is up, arrests are down, and we're really one of the highest taxed cities in the nation. And this mayor has spent almost $700 million on illegal immigrants at the expense of the poor neighborhoods on the south and west side of Chicago. The very people the Democratic Party claims they're for.
Well, I mean, look, you just have to look around the city. It is one of the most spectacular cities in the world, I think. I always believe that about Chicago. But right now you have a mayor who is so bad, even the Chicago Tribune lead editorial today basically saying he's trying to come up with other ways to drive businesses out of Chicago. So many have already left. I guess Citadel left, went to Miami. Others are planning to leave because of high taxes. Now they're figuring out ways to add more corporate taxes onto businesses in Chicago. But people say, oh, just let the cities go. Let them collapse on their own weight because this is what the voters want, Governor.
Well, the voters don't want that. The voters want cities like Chicago and New York to be vibrant, successful, and historic cities like they are. These are cities with great people in them. The problem is the leaders have failed them.
Well, if they get elected by the people, what are the people doing? Is it just that people aren't coming out to vote? It's that the unions are so powerful, they whip the votes?
The unions are very powerful. That's certainly part of it. Voter turnout is low. That's certainly a big part of it. And the social media and the new generation, young kids, well-intentioned, but really don't know how life works. They're coming out and voting for candidates like Madami in New York and our Mayor Johnson here in Chicago. Mayor Johnson, on a personal level, is a nice guy, but he's in over his head, and it's almost clownish incompetence with the way he's running this city.
Just a few weeks ago, there was a large human trafficking operation that resulted in 27 arrests. Mm-hmm. Police were helping in that, but that's also a part of the missing children that we know there are 300,000 missing children from Biden's border crisis. Obviously, many of them have ended up in large American cities such as Chicago.
Right.
They're the collateral damage here.
Right, and they've sought places like Chicago where you have sanctuary cities and mayors like Johnson because they can be safe here. They think they can hide here. But the fact is the mayor is letting down the people who elected him. He's got a responsibility to serve the Chicagoans, the people who elected him, not illegal immigrants who've come here. He's supposed to make us safe and keep our taxes reasonable or low and not spend nearly $1 billion on taxes for people who are not from Chicago.
When you're frustrated about the lack of movement on this left-wing leadership, do you ever consider going to join the Scream Club in Chicago? Have you heard about the Scream Club?
I have.
Yeah, we actually will share it with you.
Okay.
Are they mostly liberals who are upset about Trump? I have a feeling that's the case. That's what they're relegated to. Is Kamala Harris, do you think she's actually going to run for president? I have to ask you that before you go.
I can't imagine she'll run for president. No, I don't think so.
Wait, you're going to buy her book, right?
One of the lowest approval ratings. Chicago to flip red is trending right now. Running everybody out of there. Mohawk, give it up for Mohawk Afro Daddy. Give it up for Mohawk Afro Daddy. Mohawk leaning this way, just can't get it right. And I'm ready for his butt to be walked out. It's Veterans Day, Memorial Day. He says, we don't care about that. We care about Africa Day. Africa Day. I almost said something, but I'm trying to be nice. I'm being a good person. They say, Rick, sir, don't do it. But to hell with Africa. The hell with this scum right here. 6.6 approval rating. It's even worse now. Get up, white supremacy, black people. I only want to hire black people. They need to put this scum in handcuffs with his hands behind his back. And I'm going to keep advocating for it. You got doggone right. I'm going to keep advocating for it. I tell you, you just can't make this up. This title reads, Brandon Johnson just broke federal law. Will he be prosecuted? ? Brandon Johnson's #Chicago. It's a disgrace what's going on down there in Chicago. Running everybody out of there, I'm telling you. Incompetent, racist scums. And they get up on the same script. And his big Pillsbury Dough pizza man buddy. They need to walk his big butt out too. It's just Trump. Trump is bad. Trump is destroying the country. Trump and the Republicans. They run off the same exact script. And people see through the lies. People are waking up. I'm telling you, the flip Chicago red, it's getting even bigger down there for a reason.
Our immigrants play an incredible role in the soul of Chicago, and as mayor of the city of Chicago, I'm going to continue to stand firm to protect undocumented families, immigrant families, because they play a crucial role in who we are and the culture of our city.
And we're back, y'all. Thank you for watching. Helps you because it people. 3 is sub 10% approval rating. Mayor of Chicago, Brandon Johnson. You saw him say the quiet part out loud. I don't even know if that policy that he just said of protecting undocumented people, I don't even know if that's legal, y'all.
Look at his mohawk and afro on his last leg. Mohawk and afro on his last leg. Now look at him.
I mean, I think on some level, that might be a crime. And he said that out loud, among the many things he said out loud, but I won't get into some of the other things that he said out loud. This video, we're going to focus on this, and we're going to focus again on how the city is running a budget deficit over $1 billion, while at the same time, the illustrious sub 10% approval rating, Mayor of Chicago, Brandon Johnson, is saying that they're going to protect people who do not have permission to be in the country. Now, also that means giving them services. Now, also that means, as you're going to see, taxing the millionaires and the billionaires. Most people don't mind.
And I showed y'all the clips in the beginning of what he was saying. These people are something is wrong with these people, man. You know, these are the same socialist, communist scum to think that you can you can plant a money tree in the ground and that the tree will come up and the money will be on the tree. I tell you, man.
That right? Hey, most people say, hey, take more money from them. I'm not one of those people, but most people do say that. But they think that's because the money's going to be going to the citizens. As you can see, as you've seen from the past, that money's not going to you, buddy. Okay, it's going to somebody else. So y'all, we're going to go ahead and hop right into loud. He wants to take money from the citizens, give it to the people who are in the country without permission. Let's jump right into it. Going to make the 400 worse. And for
you smoking, you were going to use the full force of government to stop smoking on the CTA.
Now here I have to interrupt briefly because this is I like the way that reporter William Kelly put this. He's like, hey, you're going to use the full weight of the government to stop people from smoking on the train. But what are you going to do about some of the more important issues? Take a look.
We finally get people to get back on our public transportation system, and then they can't have a pleasant ride because someone wants to smoke. It's unconscionable, it's unthinkable, and I've had enough of this.
Now, the mayor's going to use what he calls the whole of government approach that he's used to tackle crime, to tackle smoking on trains. We'll see how that goes.
You said that you were going to use the full force of government to stop smoking on the CTA. Many people, hundreds of thousands of people asked me
Look at this fraud.
Why you wouldn't use the full force of government to remove illegal aliens like Jose Luis.
Thank you for the question.
Mendoza,
Thank you for the question. We got it. Thank you.
I appreciate the question. I mean, as far as the city
Thanks.
of Chicago is concerned, our local police department does not dub as federal ICE agents. It's just that simple. The Trump administration attempted to sue the city of Chicago, a district court rebuked that suit. Because as a welcoming city, in order for us to continue to build a safe, affordable city, the people of Chicago have to have trust in their local law enforcement. And that trust is being built, it's being restored, and I'm going to ensure that that trust moves in a direction that allows for us to continue to have the safest, most affordable big city in America. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We'll go to the next one.
So after reporter William Kelly asked his question, the next journalist also had a follow-up question, a more specific question about people who are in the country without permission. See, they want people to be able to come out, enjoy the sun, enjoy the festivals, enjoy the country, and not have any fear or trepidation that they might get rounded up by ICE. Now, this is gonna be for the comments. Do you think, I have not asked y'all this, okay? So we're gonna continue with the video, but I'm gonna put a comments question right now. Somebody's been in the country, no papers for 15, 20, 30 years. What's your take on that? Do you think that that person should get some kind of hey, you made it. You got past the finish line. Here's some complimentary documents because you evaded us for 20 years? Or do you think it's like, nah, man, when we see you,
they say,
we
nah,
got
man.
you out. Let me know that. And let's go ahead and get into this.
Yeah, we talked about all this on the channel, man. I've seen a lot of you guys say all kind of things. We talk about, amnesty. We talk about this, and then we came up with President Trump even mentioned it, in the last couple of rallies and his speech and the administration, they shut that down so quick. But, Trump even mentioned it for, certain workers, at the hotels, on the farms. We talk about sponsors, and there's a lot of things you guys agree and a lot of things you guys disagree with, but the people spoke loud and clear. They say round them up, it's time to go back home. We got to do things the right way. A new sheriff's in town. Daddy is back in the big house. He done pulled out his belt. Y'all ring granddaddy around, plugged the machine up into the wall, and told everybody to come on in. Yeah. Spit on the American people. The American people come last. All right. See how far that gets you. Yeah. See how going so far left can get you. Y'all run everybody out the door.
Next question, where your boy is going to say the quiet part out loud.
Also this weekend, there are going to be a couple of festivals in Chicago, including Lollapalooza. There's also still a fear in the immigrant community about the possible targets for ICE raids in cultural events, and one of these festivals is Fiesta del Sol in Pilsen. Is the city ready, and especially to avoid what happened on June 4th?
We are ready. We are ready. We are a welcoming city. We're going to hold firm to our position. As I said earlier, the Trump administration attempted to sue my city. We pushed back, obviously, and we won that lawsuit. Every single thing that this administration has attempted to do to bring division and fear in our city, we continue to fight back. Now, that fear and anxiety is real. I was just with Senator Villanueva and Alderman Seixo Lopez walking the blocks in their communities, particularly after the white supremacist attack on those communities with the swastika and the hate crime, essentially, that was moved about in those neighborhoods. And I talked to some of the business owners there, and people are afraid to go out and go grocery shopping. And so right now we are planning events, public events, where we can all go out and grocery shop together and show solidarity with our immigrant community. Our immigrants play an incredible role in the soul of Chicago, and as mayor of the city of Chicago, I'm going to continue to stand firm to protect undocumented families, immigrant families, because they play a crucial role in who we are and the culture of our city.
Now, as you know, Chicago is facing $1 billion budget shortfall, right? $1 billion, that's a billy. That's a million times 1,000. And we also have gone over this many times in previous videos. They have spent upwards of $600, $700, $800 million, okay? Way more than half, up to 80% of the billy that they're missing, they've spent on people who are in the country without permission, okay? So just let that sink in. So what are they gonna do now? Well, they're gonna go after, this is a proposal. Go after the millionaires and billionaires, ask them to pay more money, society to help. I think it's just that the government wastes their money, right? I think most of us would say, hey, yeah, you could take a couple of extra dollars off me if I know that the roads are going to be fixed, if I know that the schools are all going to work, if I know that the teen violence problem, the young person violence.
Yeah, I'm telling you, but again, we've all, what they have found and discovered, all the fraud, waste, abuse, and where our money's actually going, and how it is, people got their hands in the cookie jar and it just spent on this. We don't know what the hell it is. This. I'm telling you, man, people are saying, Maybe people might say, everybody might be for it if it actually had some benefits. If you could actually roll down the street and not go through a pothole. Yeah, if the city was beautiful, I tell you. People got their hands in the cookie jar. It's spent and sent on all kind of crap we don't know. Again, man, after all Trump and this administration has found and discovered and exposed, People ought to be receiving reimbursement checks and something in the mail. People ought to be getting 3 months of mortgage relief or something. I'm telling you. Out of all the fraud, waste, and abuse we found, I tell you, man. And they come out with the same script. Tax the rich, the billionaire, Trump and his billionaire buddies, and the same script. And y'all spit on the American people. The American people have to come last. I tell you, man.
This problem is going to be adequately addressed. If I know that the economy is going to grow, I think we would all chip in a little more, even the so-called working families. But let's see what your boy, the illustrious sub 10% approval rating mayor of Chicago, Brandon Johnson, plans to do to try to close this budget gap that he created with his policies.
Last year, Chicago's mayor tried but failed to raise property taxes. The city's facing another key budget deadline this year.
And WGN's Christine Flores is here now with more on what Mayor Brandon Johnson may do instead.
Yeah, Ray and Micah, good evening. Now, while being specific, Mayor Brandon Johnson said he would not propose a property tax increase in his budget. During his weekly media address today, he pointed to a number of tax-the-rich options he's considering.
I'm going to go after progressive revenue. That's what the people of Chicago and working class families in particular want us to see us to do.
Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson reaffirmed Tuesday he's not planning to propose a tax increase in this year's budget proposal. Instead, he says he's looking for other sources of progressive revenue to address the city's $1.2 billion budget deficit.
Everything has to be on the table.
According to the mayor, that includes a tax on digital advertisements.
People have made billions of dollars from the digital industry, literally billions of dollars, and that free advertisement happens on a consistent basis. So this is something that I've been looking at and exploring since 2018.
When it comes to taxing the rich,
we are the 10th wealthiest city in the entire world. So I think it's important that we look at, in a very meaningful way, how those individuals with means, particularly our billionaires and ultra rich who have benefited from a growing economy, can put more skin in the game.
This includes a corporate head tax. It's based off the number of employees, similar to the one that was in place prior to its removal by then Mayor Rahm Emanuel, and something Johnson campaigned on.
This notion somehow that we're scaring millionaires away, it's just the opposite. Do you know what they talk about when they do engage with me? They talk about community safety. They don't talk about taxes. Their number one issue is community safety. And as we continue to see the trend move in the positive direction, that allows for our economy to grow.
As Johnson laid out the proposals, one point he stressed was they are targeting the more than 127,000 millionaires and about 25 billionaires that live in and around the city.
There's a reason for us to be able to tap into, those individuals and entities with means so that we can continue to see the positive trend of violence going down in the city of Chicago. I believe it's to all of our benefit to ensure that we're doing everything in our power to maintain the investments that we've put forward.
Today, Johnson also pointed to ongoing investments and developments in the city and said Chicago must take bold, inclusive steps to close structural deficits. And guys, he said that'll also help reduce the poverty in the city.
We'll be watching.
So y'all, it's the same thing with this guy, right? But I think the biggest difference this time is he's actually said out loud that he's going to protect people who don't have. You can't do that. You can't do that. I mean, that's a crime. Tom Homan has made it very clear that he will arrest.
Tom, y'all should have been. We've been saying we're gonna arrest and do this. We need to make an example of him right now. It's just not gonna stop until somebody's made an example out of. It just won't stop. The threats won't stop. They be up there threatening y'all, saying we're gonna do this. Yeah, we got doggone right. We're gonna break the law, and still walking around free smiling, oiling up his mohawk, putting all that curl in jail in his mohawk, frohawk, whatever they call it. I'm sick of this crap, man. I am. We need to make an example out of this cat. I'm telling you. Right now.